Hello, I'm Tom Hodgson. I live in Stanway on the western edge of Colchester. I retired about 3 years ago from working for the museum service in Colchester. So my kind of experience there was dealing with lots of lovely history and heritage, but also included the natural history collections at the museum, and obviously lots of visitors coming in. So that's my background. I really fell in love with nature as early ago as I can remember. I remember as a child being out in the garden, looking at bees and other things kind of flying around. We had a lot of holidays when we go out and walk. I mean, you go and look at heritage and history as well, castles, but it always involved walking, and that might be local walks as well. I grew up on a little range of hills called the Lickey Hills, just south of Birmingham. So that was great. You'd be out all day there and having a look around. So I think it's always been part of me, I think, the love of nature. Well, I've always been really impressed. I think, the Wildlife Trust has a really important role to play in terms of that preserving and enhancing habitats for our wildlife in all its shapes and forms, keeping people educated about it, and also trying to commit increasingly now to help with various government policies. And I think what I've seen over the years, I've now lived in Essex for about 25 years, I've seen just how much the Wildlife Trust has grown over those years, and in really kind of confident ways. I'm very impressed with it as an organisation. Well, it's just as important as when I was a kid. I know more about it. I know now most of the kind of birds which are flying away, and maybe a bit more about butterflies and other bits and pieces, and how that all fits together. So yes, it's part of that. I always, as you can see, I always come out with binoculars whenever I'm out walking. You never know what you might see. So yes, I'd say I have a greater knowledge about wildlife now than when I was younger, but just the same amount of interest and passion about it. I think the thing with that is that being impressed with the organisation, also that love of nature, that's really the kind of driving force. And this is the organisation I've volunteered with for about at least 15 years. I've really enjoyed that. So not only am I putting in, but I'm getting something back from that, friendships, activity to do. And I think that to me is really important, and I think it's great as well to think that I can continue helping the Wildlife Trust after I've gone. That's another thing. It's quite nice to, I've supported it in my life, and if there's after that, if it still gets some support from what I give, then that's great. There's loads of ways that people can get involved. Obviously I've volunteered for quite a few years now, and I think that is really rewarding. You get so much out from that, as well as putting in. There's a real satisfaction with that. But obviously over the years as well, which has been really impressive, is just seeing the number of new visitor centres. Always something different to say about this county, and that's again great. Get in there, look for the special open days, and obviously there's lots of specialists there to help within the organisation. And then when you have an event, other people coming in. Must admit, the last pair of binoculars I bought came from Abberton Visitor Centre, and that's really helpful, because not only could I talk to someone who knew what he was talking about, but immediately outside the window there were things I could look at and just check out the binoculars and how they worked.